And I am live. How is it?
The live video will begin in a moment.
Is it on there?
You're live.
Is it on there? Jeez. Yeah, mute it. Okay, is it good?
Yeah, it's good.
All right, let's see. Let's make sure I can see. Perfect. Hey, Sophia, how are you doing today? We're going to start in a minute here. Let's see, I got one viewer so far. It's cool because I can always see who's on. We're going to start in a minute here. Let's see, I got one.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So guys, I'm going to switch it over now. It's going to be facing my monitor set up here in my living room. So you can take a little look here. That's what it looks like. So let's do this. I'm going to switch the camera around now. And so perfect. All right, let's make sure. I'm going to set it up right here. I'm just setting it up. Hey, Sophia, how are you? Welcome. How's that look? Guys, I got my girlfriend helping me out today. I got Katie. She's going to help out with the questions. So if you guys have any questions, feel free, write them down in the comments section while we are doing the webinar. With that being said, welcome. Balance 5 Secrets to Unlock Your Inner Badass. This is my first webinar as CarryOnTravelFitness. And I couldn't be more excited. It's really an honor to present this webinar on mental health. And I got some great guests for you. I got Matthias Ludwig. I have a special guest who you guys will discover later. Those in Canada will probably know who she is. So it's really exciting. So it's a fun story, and I'm really looking forward to this. So really, without further ado, let's just jump right in it. So the first thing we got is our agenda today. We have our introduction and background, 4 minutes. I'm gonna double check and make sure everything, how's it look so far?
It's looking great.
It looks good? Mm-hmm. Good camera angle over there?
Great camera angle.
Good camera angle, okay, that was Katie. I had to make sure because I have the camera pointing at me. So as I was saying, introduction background is gonna be about 4 minutes. Then we have definition of balance, which will be about 1 minute. After that, we'll have why balance is needed. After that, I will present the 5 secrets. That'll take about 20 minutes, give or take. After that, we will have guest speakers, not speaker. And that'll be about 10 minutes. And then finally, we will finish the whole webinar off with a question and answer session. And as I said, if you guys have any questions, I would really, really look forward to answering any questions you may have. Of course, if we don't get to it today, feel free to DM me, message me on Facebook, Instagram, email, whatever, however you guys want to reach me. I would be more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have. Before I begin, go follow me, go subscribe to Carry On Travel Fitness. You can go on www.carryontravelfitness.com. You can follow all my latest news. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, CarryOnTravel_fitness, Carry On Travel Fitness for my Facebook feed. And if you have any questions, write them in the comments, and Katie's going to shout them out later when we get to that portion. So let's jump right into it. I'll go right into my introduction and my background. So my background really pretty normal. I had a normal childhood growing up, nothing that was particular out of the norm about it. And I was lucky enough to have a normal childhood. I played sports growing up. I actually went to a French school growing up, Lycée Français, and lucky enough I speak French today. It wasn't until 16 that things really started changing when my parents' divorce happened. I think this is where a lot of the mental health things that I'm actually going to discuss about today really played an influence and role in my life. And when 2010 hit, which is when my parents did divorce, which is the finalized divorce didn't come until 2013, but when they separated was 2010. 2010 was a spiral year for me, really. My mom was an emotional wreck, and that's who I was living with at the time. And I don't fault her for that. It was just a very difficult time in my life, and actually a lot of it I don't remember too well. And I remember I would go to school, I'd go to high school, and I would keep everything in, but on the outside I was me, I was outgoing, I was social, that's exactly who I am. But on the inside I was going crazy, I was a wreck, and no one knew for the most part. So I had a lot of growing pains. I was forced to confront some really hard issues, some difficult things, such as I was really the parent. And my mom she had some issues at the time, and it was difficult for her to be there 100% for me. So that was a really difficult thing. So I did have some growing pains, and I had to confront some things. As a result, my mental health suffered. Nowhere or no one I felt comfortable talking to, but luckily I found some mentors in my life who actually I'm very close with today. And for that reason, I really think they saved me from going down a really dark path of alcohol and drugs and going down that way. But now it's nothing but positivity, so I'm very happy about that. So at a certain point I realized I need to take control, and I need to take action, and this is really where my story begins. So this is how I'm going to introduce balance to you guys. This is how I interpret balance in my life. Sports and fitness has always been a passion of mine. I've played every sport you can imagine: baseball, football, soccer, the most American thing for all my international friends, of course. I played baseball for 15 years. Super lucky, and it's an amazing sport. But I realized that lifting weights offered a path to better myself, and actually two of my best friends, Cole and Marshall, got me into it in November of 2009. I think that was really the turning point for me. If they didn't introduce it then, I don't know where I would have turned to. So as a result, I felt more centered. But I realized those were fleeting moments. When I put on my headphones and it was just me in that weight room, I realized that was my moment to be me and release. So I had that inner release. Without it, I don't know where I would be today, but I realized it was fleeting moments, and I needed something more concrete at the time. I needed something more, how do you put it? It was something I needed. I needed to be grounded. I needed that confidence in myself. That hour, 2 hours, it started at an hour, but then went to 2 hours, weight training sessions. They felt amazing, but I needed something more after that. So, balance definition, this is how I interpret balance in my life. So, Merriam-Webster, so this is the definition. If you guys have difficulty actually seeing the screen, please let me know. Katie will holler and let me know. So, Merriam-Webster, I chose this definition as equipoise. It's the state of equilibrium between contrasting, opposing, or interacting elements. And for me, the interacting elements is something that really spoke to me about this. It was something, I saw the contrasting and the opposing, and I realized, yes, that's exactly what I have in my life. And I realized to really unlock your inner badass, this is what you need. You need a good balance in between the both. You need to have that chill, but you also need to go full speed on certain projects. So, why is balance needed? So I'm going to run over some numbers to show you exactly what I'm talking about and why this is so necessary. So 50%, this is the percentage of people aged 40 who have had a mental illness in their life. And this is the Canadian Mental Health Association. So that's, in Canada, there's 36 million people. So that means around 15 million people, 18 million people have a mental health issue. 75%, this is the percentage of total suicides that are actually committed by men. So 3 out of every 4 suicides is committed by a man. That's something that I will address later. And actually, I'm creating a new YouTube channel called The Man I Trust. And it's actually focusing on men's health, and this is one of the issues that I will be talking about. So this is going to be something that's really important for me. 43.6 million. The number of Americans 18 and older who live with a mental health disorder. So currently in the States, there's about 300 million, 350 million people, give or take. So that means about 1 out of every 6 Americans has a mental health issue or has dealt with a mental health issue in the past. So for me, this is something very near and dear to my heart. So these are some pretty shocking numbers of why balance is needed. So the positivities, the benefits of why balance is needed. Number one, you're gonna have more productivity. That's something that's huge. Number two, you have happiness. Number three, you're gonna have positivity. Number four, you're gonna inspire others around you. They're gonna feed off that energy that you're giving, and that's actually something I will get to in a little bit. And last but not least, you're giving off love. And that's something that we need more of in this world. We need it to be spread, so that's very important. So 5 secrets to unlock your inner badass. So this is the main juice, the main meat and potatoes of everything. So let's just jump right into secret number 1. Secret number 1 is to prioritize your dreams. And the big thing about this is to dream big. I actually got this, I'm not gonna lie, I actually got this from Randy Pausch. Randy Pausch is, for those of you who don't know, he was a lecturer at Carnegie Mellon, and he was diagnosed with terminal cancer. He had 6 months to live, and he gave a last lecture. You can actually go watch it on YouTube today, but he talks about dreaming big, and I think it's my favorite book personally, but he always said dream big, and you know, because if you don't hit what you're dreaming for, at least you'll get way further than you ever imagined. Be selfish and selfless at the same time. So I think this is something that's really important, is allowing yourself to be selfish. I think a lot of people in our society, in our context, in pretty much everything, see being selfish as something that's a negative. For me, I really think that being selfish is actually a positive. Maybe that's just my North American individualistic point of view, but I really believe that being selfish can actually help you many a time. Whereas, and this is the balance part of secret number 1, is finding that balance, the right balance between being selfish and selfless. So you need to be selfish, but at the same time, you need to be able to help others out. My next point is don't listen to the haters, work harder. Now, I know so many people that, and me included for sure, we spend so much time and energy, whether it be on social media or, as us millennials say these days, IRL, in real life. And we worry so much about what others think about us. It would be so much simpler if, honestly, we ignored those people that were hating on us, and not ignore them. Of course I care what other people think of me, but I'm not going to act on what other people say. Of course I care, I just don't act on what they're saying. If we just spend that energy elsewhere, if we just worked harder. So that's really important. The next point is to make you important. I think a lot of the people need to realize that they need to allow themselves that they're important too. You need to not realize your parents' dreams, your boyfriend or girlfriend's dream, your husband, whoever it may be, your significant other, doesn't matter. You need to realize your dreams. And that's where being selfish is really important. And next, you need to set short-term and long-term goals. And for everyone, that's very different. Some cultures, for example, in Japan, long-term may be 10 years. Whereas I would say in the States, long-term is a year, to be honest. And I think maybe with our generation too, as millennials, it's changing even more. Because long-term may be a month, for example. Short-term may be a couple days. So it's really important to set those marks, because if you don't reach those marks, if you don't set those goals, you're going to give up. Everyone does it. So it's really important to set those goals and adjust them if need be. If you need to go back and adjust them every week or so, look back and realize, okay, this is working, this isn't, do what you have to do to realize those goals. So now I'm going to run into my first example for secret number 1 of prioritizing your dreams. Before I do that, I'm going to take a drink. Shout out to Nutrizone Canada, the best supplement store in Montreal, for the shaker. Appreciate it. So example. Secret number one. So this is actually me in Hanoi, Vietnam. And this is it was kind of a crazy story. So I actually studied abroad in Berlin in 2015. It's crazy. I think it's almost 3 years ago. It blows my mind. I feel so old. But anyway, so this is about 3 years ago. And I remember towards the end of my Berlin experience, I absolutely love the city. My roommate Avery invited me to Israel, and I was like, of course I'm going. I have to go. It's Israel. Like, I've always wanted to. And so after Israel, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go home. I'm going to go back to Chicago. I'm going to go back to the States. And I'm going to get an internship. I'm going to do what everyone else does. I'm going to get an internship, and I'm going to start realizing, start building my future. So I remember I talked to my mom, and I was like, well, maybe I'll go, but at the same time I was thinking maybe I'll go to Southeast Asia. Maybe I'll go to Thailand, because my brother Zach had been in 2011, and he showed me all these amazing pictures of Thailand. This is before Thailand. I think today it's really become touristy, but this is before people knew about Thailand. I knew nothing except Thai food. And I saw his pictures and I realized I had to go. So 2015, I was like, should I go back home? Should I get this internship, or do I go to Southeast Asia? I remember that conversation. It was in the kitchen of our apartment in Berlin. And my mom was like, you're 21 years old. Go realize your dreams, prioritize your dreams, and go to Southeast Asia. Go to Thailand. And you know what? It was the best experience I've ever had in my life. I spent the whole entire summer, 2.5 months, in Southeast Asia. I traveled all over Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam. So this was actually me. I believe it was the day before I left. I had a good friend, Mia, who I went to TCU with. I was lucky enough to have her show me around Hanoi, and she actually took this picture. She just happened to be home. And it was one of the most amazing trips of my life. And I think that's what really was the catalyst for Carry On Travel Fitness and me traveling. That was my first real solo backpacking trip, and I had the most amazing time. Met some super cool people who I'm still in touch with today. So as always, you never regret traveling. And this I found out on this trip, so I guess I'm here all because of this trip, really. So next secret. Secret number 2, I think this is, of course, I think all these are important, but I think this is something that we can start doing today, and it's gratitude. Gratitude can be done anywhere in any situation. It doesn't matter if you're at home or you're on the bus or you're at work, or it doesn't matter where you are. I like to do it as soon as I get up. I like to sit on the edge of my bed and just think to myself, I'm glad I have a roof over my head. I'm glad I have people around me that love me and care for me. And for me, it's always a good way to start my day. I feel so energized and I feel great after doing it. There's always things to be grateful for, but you also have to realize there's bad days too. And it's even more important to be grateful for things on those bad days. Because being grateful for things, if you're able to find things to be grateful for on the bad days, it's going to be so much easier on the good days. It's just going to make those good days even that much better. So gratitude can actually ease mental health issues. There's been some studies shown that gratitude is one of the most powerful things you can do, along with meditation, which one of our guest speakers will touch on, hopefully, meditation. Gratitude can also lead to happiness. And happiness is something, you talk to people and it's, they look at money or they look at, this situation or that situation. You realize there's people that are rich in big houses and they're still not happy. But maybe they just haven't found gratitude yet. And this is where gratitude is the secret. It's realizing that you're in the present right now, but also that you're looking forward to the future. So you need to find a great balance between looking ahead to the future, but also living in the moment and being present and owning your moment, owning yourself, owning who you are in this moment right here. And actually, it sounds ridiculous, but I was really inspired by J. Cole. He's a rapper. I know maybe not the person you would expect to be inspired by, but I really think inspiration can come from anywhere. And I remember a friend of mine sent me the video of J. Cole talking about this, and he was like, you know what, man, like, I had the watch, I had the bling, I had everything, I had the success, and none of it made me happy. None of it made me happy. There was nothing that made me happy. I thought I needed it. I saw Drake, I saw all these successful people around me. I was like, oh wow, Drake's got that watch, I gotta have that watch. And what he realized is that these things, success, material things, you're always chasing. If you get $1 million, you want 2 million, 10 million, a billion. It never stops. Whereas if you center yourself on love and peacefulness and gratitude, you realize that you have tons around you. You have people that love and care for you. You have food. You know, even if you don't have much, you have things to be grateful for, and that will propel you to change your situation even more if you're not happy with whatever you got going on. So let's jump into the example. This is actually, I don't know if you guys can really see it. Maybe I'll bring it forward real quick for you guys. Yeah, there you go. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so there we go. That's me. Sorry, I was reading the comments. I got distracted. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Make sure everything's good. So this is actually me in Dubrovnik, Croatia in 2015. And this is me on the beach. I have no idea where in Dubrovnik it is. Maybe I'll have the Mindful Mermaid. I know she actually is in Dubrovnik right now. She met a Croatian guy, so maybe she could tell me exactly where this is. Anyway, this is actually what's good in my world today. And for me, this is something that's really, really important, is what's good in your world today. It's your thoughts. It's your mind. So I wrote down everything. You know, I was grateful for sitting on the beach and the view, and I remember just being so happy in this moment and so calm. And I think it was going back to what I said before. I had that internal struggle of whether I should go get that internship or should I go to Southeast Asia. And this is me, you know, writing down everything I was so thankful for and making that decision. Just gratitude for making that decision and realizing what's best for me. So that's Dubrovnik, Croatia, 2015. Highly recommend going. If you guys have never been, you gotta go to Croatia. It's an amazing place. On to the next one. So this is secret number 3. And full disclosure, right off the bat, I'm not good at this. I need to get better at this, and I realize it. And I think maybe that's one of the things about gratitude. You become more self-aware of what you're good at, your strengths, your weaknesses. Letting go of your ego. I don't know, maybe it's just a male thing. What do you think, Katie? Do you think it's a male thing? Let go of your ego?
I think everyone has major ego.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I know you got some ego. It's okay. But yeah, so we all have ego. I think it's really important to let go of your ego. So ego can actually get in the way of your success. And I think it goes back to our self-concept of who we think we are in our head. And we think that we're one way, or we want people to see us a certain way. But I think actually the more angry people get, the more they have issues with their ego. I've actually read that when I studied psychology. And that was really interesting to me because maybe it's that internal struggle. It's their cathartic release of them trying to get out of whatever they're doing. But you have to make sure it's okay for you to fail. And I know a lot of people say that, and I think it's really trendy with all these startups and entrepreneurs things today where people are like, it's okay to fail, like fail. Like no one wants to fail. No one likes failing. It's way easier to say it's okay to fail than actually failing. Now I've done it, it sucks. You know, I recommend it still, but it's not fun. You have to really sit there, you know, breathe in that experience and kind of own it. But you have to let yourself be okay with failure. I think a lot of people say around you, it's okay to fail, your parents, whoever it may be. And I know different cultures are different, right? When I lived in Germany, I know that part of the reason some of my German friends say it's really strict and that if you fail, that failure will always trail you, right? So it could be a cultural thing. I'm American, so I know I have that in my favor. We as Americans, we're very, you know, pushing forward, stuff like that, and innovation, stuff like that. So that's great for me. So confidence. Confidence is another thing. You have to have a quiet confidence in you. And you need to have that balance. So this is where the balance comes into play. It's important to have that balance between the confidence, that quiet confidence inside yourself, and letting yourself be okay with failure, letting yourself make mistakes. It's okay. Because then you can get back up, you can laugh, you can learn, you can try again. And then that way, it's much easier to let go of your ego. And actually, one more thing I'm going to add on to this. It's so much easier to share your failures with other people. The minute you share your failures with other people and you realize, hey, you went through the exact same thing I went through. Yeah, we went through the exact same thing. This is crazy. I thought I was the only one. Actually, I just met this guy, Octavio, the other day, and we were talking about something like this. And we're like, oh, wait, you're doing the same thing? Or we're doing the same thing? And we shared that common experience. And we just felt so much better that someone else was sharing it. So it's exactly like that. If you share your failure with someone, maybe they'll open up, share it with you. And then you can realize that other people go through these struggles too. So let's jump into the example for secret number 3. Let's see. So I'm going to show you a video. So hold on, I'm going to get up nice and close here. Okay, so hit it, Katie. So this is me actually. Oh man, I did not want to do this. Yeah, that's Katie at the end. So that's me letting go of my ego, right? I hope you guys enjoyed that. It took me, okay, backstory on this. It took me 3 different times. I got up to the edge right there on that yellow thing. I got up there 3 different times, right? Was it 3 times, Katie?
3 times, yeah.
I got up 3 times and I backed down each time. I remember Katie came up to me. This is in, Banyo Sekuro. She came up to me and she's like, you got it. You got it. You're going to. Excuse my French, she was like, you're gonna fucking do it. You're gonna fucking do it. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. I think I got so frustrated because I saw other people jumping off that bridge. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I saw other people jumping off the bridge and I was like, what? This guy can do it? Like, I remember there was a guy that got up right away and he did it, like, he just jumped off. And I was like, okay, so how did he do that? What's the secret? And, I actually had to get headbutted off, so that's what that guy's doing. He's headbutting me off a freaking bridge. And I'm so glad I let go of my ego in this situation. I think I could have easily been frustrated and been like, you know what, I don't need this, or, you know, I'm better than this, or anything like that. And I think I just kind of let go, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to see what happens. I'm going to embrace a new experience, because bungee jumping is like my one fear. It was the one thing I'm scared of. And I told Katie, and she still led me out there. So I don't know what that says about her. But anyway, so this is kind of my metaphor, is to jump off the bridge. And whether you actually jump off a bridge or not, I highly recommend it because it's so fun. But to jump off that bridge, let go of your ego, and just enjoy your failures, laugh at it, learn, move on in life. So let's go on to secret number 4. Secret number 4, energy. People say I have a lot of energy. I take that as a huge compliment. But that being said, we only have so much energy, right? We have 24 hours in a day. We have only so much energy to give as people. So the big thing is surrounding yourself with high achievers. The 5 people around you that you surround yourself, your inner circle, really are who you are. Who you surround yourself with is very important, because if they adopt good habits or they adopt hardworking habits, then you will as well. If you surround yourself with people that maybe aren't making the best choices, or, you know, it's up to you, right? But maybe aren't going down the best path, you'll most likely go down that same path too. So we're very social creatures in that way. It's very, very important. So this is where balance comes in. So balance, it's so important to have a balance between go, 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 and stop. I'm very much a person where I'm no chill with my work. Like, I launch myself full in, and there's times where it's like I'm working on something and I hate stopping because I'm so focused, I'm so into what I'm doing, and I need to go to jiu-jitsu or something. And I'm always like, as soon as I leave, I'm like, oh, God, I wish I could go and get more work done. But as soon as I start doing whatever I went to go do, I'm always happy I left that work and came back. So it's important to find that balance between go, 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 and stop. It's important to realize that you can't control others. You can only control your emotions. You can only control what you can control, right? I can't control, if I go say sorry to someone, I'm the one going to say sorry. I can't control if they're going to say sorry back to me. So it's really important to realize that you are the only one that can control your emotions, and realize that don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. Only do what you can do. The final one with energy is cut the fat. Now, this one may seem a little brutal because I'm talking about cutting people out of your life, but you know, in life we have to make hard choices sometimes, and I think other people might sugarcoat it and might say, okay, yeah, this is a lot better and you need to do this or that, but I really think cutting negative people out of your life, for example, like I've had some very negative people in my life that I'm glad I don't have relations with them anymore, and I'm not naming any names, but I'm so happy I did that. At the time it was so difficult, and I think back now, like, why was it so difficult? But it's because it's hard. It's hard cutting someone off, especially if it's a good friend of yours or you've known them for a while. It's always difficult. So energy is secret number 4. So let's jump into the example. So this is me in Comuna 13 in Medellin. Medellin, I didn't put the accent over the I, but that's okay. So this is actually in 2017. This is this year in, when was I in Colombia? April. I was in Colombia in April. I love this picture. This is just like such a cool picture. I think back to this picture and it was super good vibes. It was super cool. I was very, very lucky. And if you guys haven't been to Medellin, absolutely go. It's an amazing city. Colombia is my favorite country I've been to just because of the people. The people are the warmest, most helpful, amazing people you'll meet, and also the landscape is amazing. It's beautiful. Go help their economy come back, and tourism is really important for them, so definitely go. So this example, actually, I met this guy named Val. Val is probably one of the most interesting guys I've met. He was an entrepreneur. He actually sold a music company for, I don't know, X number of dollars, and he was just kind of traveling the world. He was actually 22 at the time, you know, a little younger than I was, and we decided, hey, you know what, there's no better time than now to start a company. So we started a company called On Top, and it was actually a Capture the Flag company. So we actually went, I should put the pictures, man. We made these flags, and he made this design with the toucan in it, so we went to go get it made, and we got the fabric and we made little flags and everything. And then we realized, you know what? This isn't possible. It wasn't possible because our flags kept getting stolen by people. So it was tried. The company, as I'm saying, failed. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot about business in another country. I learned a lot about dealing with people. But Val was really the one that instilled this principle of surround yourself with high achievers. And he always talked about creating this community of high achievers. And while we butted heads at time, he's a very strong personality, and I am as well. He really meant business, and he didn't mess around. So Val, I know you're in London right now. If you look him up, look up Val Stripe. Super good dude. Look him up if you're in London, and shout out to Val. So yeah, that's energy. So this is my final secret number 5. It's all about walking humbly. So walk humbly. And this one, I think as millennials, we need this. This is something that's really important. I think you see it all the time. Actually, in the same book that I talked about, the last lecture, and I think it was Falco Fox. The book is called The Last Lecture by Randy Pausch. If you want, I'll send you the link on Amazon. It would be my pleasure. I'll do that after the webinar, of course. And he talked about a couple stories how, you know, young college students, it's not that the work was good. A couple of his students from Carnegie Mellon, they went to go do internships, and the work was great, and they were hard workers and all this, but they were always eyeing the corner office. They always were thinking the next level, and they were interns, and they were already thinking about when they were going to become president of the company. And for a lot of companies, for a lot of current workers, that was the worst thing they could do. So I think it's important to walk humbly. I think a lot of people don't want to work jobs that they would consider beneath them, right? Like if you have that job in the mailroom, be thankful you have that job in the mailroom. If you have that job wherever you are, be the best mailroom person possible. Like right now, I'm trying to be the best webinar giver, presenter that I can be. That's my focus right now. And I'm always trying to do that. It's easier said than done. I understand that, but be the best at your craft that you can be and launch yourself into it. And if you don't want to put the time and effort, don't do it. Find something else. Find something that you love. That being said, it's important nothing is beneath you. Treat any job, treat any connection you have as something that's really important. Arrogance is never charming. Arrogance is never something that anyone finds attractive. No one finds it something... there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance, and it's easy to cross because I'm sure I've crossed it a bunch before. But yeah, I won't lie for sure. But something that's really important is let your body of work speak. And I think in today's age of show me, Instagram, look at what I'm doing. It's rare to find someone very humble, and I've met some people like that in my life, and I just respect them. But maybe this is me. I respect them 10 times more, 100 times more, whatever it may be. I respect them so much more just because they're amazing at what they do. They have certain skills that other people don't have, and they're not showing off. They just go to work, and of course you need to market yourself a bit and sell yourself a bit, but at the same time you gotta be humble. Next, it's important to have that quiet confidence inside yourself. If you don't have that quiet confidence inside yourself, you may project some other things, so it's really important. And finally, take responsibility for actions. Go back. Whoop, Katie, jump the gun. Take responsibility for your actions. Own up. If you make a mistake, just own it. It's 10 times better to say, look, I messed up, I made a mistake, I'm just going to own whatever I'm doing, than to say, no, I didn't do that, or deny it. It's just so much better that way. But the balance part that I'm talking about here is really realizing, having that quiet confidence in you, but realizing that nothing's beneath you when you walk humbly. So you need to find that balance, but of course, just walk humbly. So now we're getting into the example. So this is actually in Baños, Ecuador, the same small town. I was there for about a month in March, and super lucky. One of my best friends, Cole Schubert. Shout out to Cole at Shubidoo on Instagram. Baños, Ecuador. He came with his girlfriend Casey, and I was there with Katie, and we all had a ball. And I had a stomach infection, but still, it doesn't matter. Amazing. And actually, funny story. We walked into a cafe. Katie tried to get a job as a graphic designer. Ray, the owner of the restaurant, who lived in Ecuador forever now, but he's from Michigan originally, he gave me the marketing job. So that was kind of funny. He gave me marketing. He was paying me $2 an hour with a meal. So whenever I worked, I got a meal, $2 an hour. And at first, I think I was kind of thrown off because it's $2 an hour. Our minimum wage is, you're like, what, $2 an hour? But that's a living wage. But I think that was one of those moments. I had to walk humbly. I had to realize, okay, I want to do a really nice job for him, a good job in marketing. But also I need to get over the fact, realize that, hey, he gave me an opportunity. I'm grateful for this opportunity. So we made this on... we were there actually Valentine's Day. This is an Instagram post that we made to bring your boo in. So I think it was like half off or something, or I don't know. We worked out some promotion, but shout out to Ray for that. That was a really fun trip. But that's to walk humbly. So that's my secret number 5, and so now Katie. So now we are going to get into our guest speaker. That's the end of the presentation. Now I'm going to grab the mic here. Here we go. So thank you, Grant. Okay, what's up, guys? What's up, everyone? Hold on, let me get situated here. Let's see. Falco Fox, what's up? Pilly, how are you? Let me say hi to everything, and then I'm going to bring on... no worries, you got disconnected. Blake, travel shirt, yes. Guys, this is my travel shirt. I'm going to actually probably write an article on the travel shirt. Everyone should have a travel shirt, I'm convinced. Falco Fox, I'll throw it in there. Sophia, thank you. I appreciate great advice. Pilly, yes. Colombia, I need to go to Santa Marta, your hometown. Absolutely. Shout out to Colombia. So now it is my pleasure to bring on Matthias. So let me get on Matthias. Is he on? Here we go. You can't, it says Matthias. So how'd everyone like it so far? Is everyone loving it? It's good. I can't see who else is on. Matthias Ludwig. So I'm going to give him a little introduction. I see that he's on, but his video thing isn't on. So Matthias, I guess try to put on your video. Put on your video thing. Let's see. I can't bring you on. You want to tag? Yeah. So who else is on? So that was cool. So yeah, Matthias I actually met in Berlin, Germany. He is the owner of Fitted Coaching. He, yeah, tell him. Yeah, he's the, hold on. Hold on. Is it paused? Can people see me? Hold on 1 second.
I can see you.
It's hold on. What's everyone? Hold on. 1 second. I'm having some technical difficulties.
Oh shit.
Hold on. The can't. It's like 1 second. There we go. I'm back on now. I'm here. Okay, but no idea how to get the video. Okay. Matthias, you have to be on your phone, I believe. If worst comes to worst, we'll go to Skype if we want. But yeah, if you can, go on your phone, because that's the big thing, because I'm on my iPhone right now. So Matthias, I'll give you guys an introduction. Owner of Fitted Coaching, so that's a calisthenics coaching. So he mastered the handstand. So we'll give him when we get him on video, we'll give him a proper introduction. Let's see who else joined us. Sophia says, "Do I want to tag my brother?" Falco Fox. Tree's on. Hey Tree. I'm on my phone now. Oh, my phone is pausing. Oh, do you have to have an iPhone? Is that the problem?
I think so.
Oh man.
Or try and invite me.
Yeah, I guess you have to have an iPhone. I didn't even think about that. You have to have an iPhone for this. Okay, give me my computer. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. I see Matthias. I see your thing. Hold on. Add as guest. Okay, so sorry, my it's a little slow here.